Hi everybody, here's the solution to the flowchart of the river data problem. The river data problem has an array. We set up a count and we assign it a value of 0, and then we go into a for loop which will allow us to process each element in the array. If river data I is greater than 40, then count is assigned count plus 1. We're just counting. Okay? So there's a for loop. That's going to happen 12 times. Then, when the for loop is finished, we come to an if statement. If the count is greater than or equal to 6, we do something. Otherwise, we do something else. Okay? So let's have a look at how to set this up in a flowchart. So we're going to start with our start box, and I'm just going to use a rectangle for general processing. All I'm doing here is setting up my variables. So I'm setting up the array. I haven't written it all out. I'm setting up my count variable, and I'm setting up my loop control variable. This is I. Okay, and it starts with a value of 1, and it goes to 12 in pseudocode. In Python, that would be 0 to 11. Okay? So the next thing we want to do is ask ourselves, are we in the for loop? Is I still less than or equal to 12? Or we could say, is it still less than 13? If I is less than 13, we are in this for loop. Okay? So is I less than or equal to 12? Well, it starts with a value of 1, so the answer is yes, we are in the for loop. So the first thing we do is ask, is river data I greater than 40? This is inside the for loop. We're inside this path here. Yes, we're in the for loop. Is river data I greater than 40? Yes. So we increment the count. Count is assigned count plus 1. So that's all happening there. So come into the for loop. Ask, is river data I greater than 40? If the answer is yes, increment the count. If the answer is no, we're just going to skip that. We're not going to increment the count. We're just going to skip down. And of course now we need to increment I, because it starts with a value of 1. Then we do the for loop code. And now we need to find a way to stay inside the for loop. So we need to increment I. So we update I, and then we loop back to here, and we ask ourselves, is I less than or equal to 12? Well, now it's 2. So yes, we stay inside the for loop. We do this. I becomes 3. Is 3 less than or equal to 12? Yes, it is. So we just stay inside the for loop. I becomes 12. Is 12 less than or equal to 12? Yes, it is. So we do this code the final time. Then I becomes 13. Is 13 less than or equal to 12? No. No, it isn't. So we break out of the for loop and we go on this path, the no path. And the no path, which is here, we're outside the for loop now. It asks, is the count greater than or equal to 6? Here we go. And if the answer is yes, we have some output. So for output, we use this parallelogram shape. Okay? And if the answer is no, we have a different output. And when that's finished, we stop the program. That is a solution to the river data flowchart problem.